Okay, it's officially 6:02, so I am going to kick off this meeting and get it started. My name is Cynthia Miller, and I'm with Austin Water. And we're so glad that you've joined us for this meeting. This is the Westgate Pipeline Renewal Project public meeting, and we're here to answer questions, share information. We've got our project team here. And so with that, we'll get started. So first we're going to have everyone introduce themselves, and they get bonus points if they smile. So I told them to smile because they're all really friendly people. We'll give you an overview of the project, and then we'll take questions, and we'll make sure that you've got all of our contacts at the end. So if you would hold questions until the end, that would be much appreciated. And we'll have directions to show you guys how to log your questions. So with that being said, okay, everybody, Patty, we're going to kick it off with you, and everybody unmute yourselves and please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Patty Tilley, and I'm with Capital Delivery Services.
Hi, I'm Evan Dart, and I'm with Austin Water. I'm an engineer. I'm the project sponsor for this project.
Hi, I'm Simon Orta. I'm the inspection supervisor for this project.
Hi, my name is Justin Trevino. I'm the construction inspector on the project.
And I'm just going to jump in and say this guy, and we're going to give you his cell phone number a couple of times throughout the project, but he will be out there on site, and he is someone who you're going to really appreciate and love getting to know. So he's your guy. If you don't remember any of the rest of us, right there. Okay. Thank you. So Dane, you're next.
Hi, I'm Dane Chernick. I'm with Weston Solutions, and I'm the engineer of record for the project.
And I'm Emmeline Edwards, and I'm the assistant engineer with Weston Solutions.
And I'm Michael Snyder. I'm the project manager for Cedar Hills Construction. We're the contractor on site.
And my phone is ringing. There you go. And my colleague, Lauren Garabedian, is also with us. She's going to help navigate questions and so on. When we get to that place, there she is. And you guys have already met me. So thank you again for coming. And with that, let's hand it over to Evan, and he's going to tell you about the context for this project, why Austin Water is bringing this project to your community.
Thanks, Cynthia. So good evening again, everyone. Again, my name's Evan Dart. I'm an engineer with Austin Water, and I'm the project sponsor for this Westgate Pipeline Renewal project. Go next slide. So this project is part of an overall program with Austin Water called Renewing Austin. And this program helps us identify water and wastewater infrastructure that is at risk of aging or deterioration. And what early identification of this allows us to do is to more efficiently meet the needs of our system, and then subsequently give the community better service, and then also protect our environment as well. So this project will take place in the Williamson Creek Basin, primarily in the Westgate neighborhood, but there are two other sites in the Franklin Park and South Creek neighborhoods. We will be replacing / installing 12,300 linear feet of wastewater line, 1,050 linear feet of water line, and 200 linear feet of stormwater line. So for the Westgate neighborhood portion, north of Williamson Creek, we'll be installing wastewater lines along Pack Saddle Pass, Red Street, Frontier Trail, Cactus Lane, and Roundup Trail. And then south of Williamson Creek, we'll be installing both water and wastewater lines along Buffalo Pass, Jones Road, Wood Green Cove, and could you go back one slide, Cynthia? Sorry. That's okay. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was
it's all right. No worries.
There we go.
Okay, so anyway, Wood Green Cove, Periwinkle Path, and then Fair Oaks Drive as well.
Okay, yes, I advanced too quickly and somebody
Okay.
keeps calling me, so I was distracted. I'm sorry. So
Totally
here we
fine.
go.
And then for the other two project areas I mentioned in Franklin Park and South Creek, these are located east of I-35. We're going to be installing wastewater line along Palmera Cove and then in easements off of Palmera Cove and Terry Road. And then for the South Creek portion, we'll be installing wastewater line along Stoneleigh Place and Bitter Creek Drive.
Okay, Patty, it's your turn. Tell us about what to expect during construction.
Hi, I'm Patty Tilley, and I'm with Capital Delivery Services. I'll be the city project manager for this project, and I'll be covering what y'all should expect during construction. As shown on this slide, we have several construction phases, which means that the crew may be in front of your property several times. Our phases include prep work, excavation, installation, testing, temporary paving, making any modifications necessary, and final repaving. The type of construction being used on this project is open cut. This means that the crew will cut through the asphalt to excavate and create underground trenches as shown on the picture on the slide. Our new lines are then placed in the trenches, keeping water and wastewater separate. As some of you have already seen, there is heavy construction equipment needed for this type of work, and that equipment is on site. You will always be able to get into your home, but your driveway may not be easily accessible during short periods when the crew is excavating in front of your residence. If you need to get in or out of your driveway, Justin, our inspector on site, can assist you. Please give Justin as much notice as you can, as the crew will need to move equipment or place a steel plate over the trench to allow you access to your driveway. His number is noted on the slide, as well as our last slide that has the city project team's contact information. The crew will leave the work site in a safe condition at the end of each workday. During construction, the crew will temporarily repair the trenches they excavate. We have 5 project areas, and once the entire project is finished and the required testing is completed, a paving company will then repave the streets that have been impacted by this project. Construction timeline. As some of you have noticed, construction is underway. The team has estimated that the project will take 19 months to complete. The crew's workdays are generally Monday through Friday, and scheduling any weekend work as needed. The work hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. as listed on this slide. And with that, I'll kick this over to Simon.
Hi, again, this is Simon Horta. I am the construction inspection supervisor. I'll be working closely with Justin Trevino out on site. Look forward to meeting some of you when I'm out there. So what I'm here to talk about a little bit is where we're going to be working. We're going to be working in the right of way. That usually it will be about anywhere from 5 to 10 feet behind, or 10 to 15 feet actually, behind the curb in some of your lawn area in the front. So this might be necessary for us to either through your nice gardens, or maybe sometimes you have mailboxes. We'll keep you informed, and we will let you know when we're going to be in front of your house well in advance, so that if there's anything that you need to move or let us know about, we can certainly address it at that time. Now, some of the tree trimming has already been done on some of the streets, but if you see us going by, if we have a tree that does not meet the clearance requirements on the street, because of the heavy machinery and the large machines that we will be using, it is necessary to do some trimming and to bring them up to the code, meaning, your trees over the street should be no less than 14 feet. Some of the shrubbery along the sidewalk would have to be at least 8 foot. But if we need to trim any of your trees, please rest assured a professional arborist will have given us the okay. We will bring him out and ensure that we are doing it properly. and we will notify you before we do any of this. Next slide, please. So at times, traffic lanes may be closed. We will make every effort. We have a great contractor in Cedar Hill. They are going to make sure that all the traffic control work zones are placed well in advance of us doing any road work in your area, in front of your house. You'll have plenty of signs diverting traffic, making sure you're able to get to your house if there's detours made. Just please bear with us. If you have any questions, please call Justin. Again, we can't emphasize this enough. Justin is there the whole time. The contractor is there, and he will be able to address any concerns or questions you have, especially if it's in front of your house and you need to get in. We've mentioned about your driveways being accessible at all times, but there is going to be those times where we are going to have to be in front of your house. But we will ensure that you know about it, and we are able to get your cars in and out of these driveways. So at some points, we're going to interrupt your water service, and this is necessary to do tie-ins, to do your tie-in your new service to your line, to tie in the new water mains. This usually takes a few hours. Sometimes, it could take up to 8 to 10 hours to do a large tie-in. So you will be out of water at least one point during this construction. We will notify you 72 hours in advance. We will let you know if you need anything or have any special needs. Please let us know. Please let Justin know so we can try to make some arrangements for you. Now, I say that most of the time we're going to let you. 90% of the time we'll let you know that we're going to interrupt your water. Sometimes stuff happens where a water line is broken by accident. Where these are heavy machines. They cause these types of accidents, and your water will be interrupted. We will try to get you back in service as soon as possible. We don't expect this to happen. The contractor certainly does not want this to happen. It costs a lot of money when this happens to both the city and the contractor. So rest assured, we're going to do our best not to have these interruptions. Also, we do have a Monday through Friday, and we do have a set schedule for them to work. In certain instances, if because of a school, because of a hospital, because of a business, it might be necessary that we do a water shutout to do a tie-in of connection of pipes overnight. This is not planned right now. This is not something that's foreseen, but it's possible. And again, we will let you know, and this will be something done overnight, starting around 9 o'clock and probably having your water back on by 5 or 6 in the morning. So just keep that in mind. Next slide, please. Any questions
Okay.
at this point?
It's back to me. For some reason, I'm not really able with the mute button tonight. So thank you so much, Simon. And yes, it's question and answer time. So there are a couple of ways to ask questions. You can submit them in the Q&A. You should see a Q&A option, or raise your virtual hand. And if you're on the phone, press *9 if you'd like to speak. And once you hear a prompt, press *6 to unmute yourself. So let's get some Q&A going. I'll give everybody a pop quiz while we're waiting for questions. Who is the one person you really, really want to know about? Justin, that's you. Excellent, excellent smiling. Very good. You guys need to know Justin. Okay, I see a question popping up in the chat. For some reason, it's not Okay, great question. What will you do to control dust and drainage? Who wants to take that?
I can answer that. So we have water trailers on site. And so if needed, we've got sweepers and water that we can just maintain to keep the dirt off of the road kind of cleaned up into a minimum. I mean, we're going to have piles of dirt during the excavation, but where cars are driving and stuff, we'll keep that to a minimum. And usually dust isn't a big concern because we're excavating in the street, so most of the traffic's on the asphalt, and then we have a confined space where our spoil piles are.
Does that help answer your question? It's not just traffic in terms of the dust, it's keeping it out of the air as well. And I see, Simon, you've got something to contribute here.
Yes, I'd like to add that the contractors makes a great effort to try to keep this dust down by watering the areas that do cause the dust. But we don't want to water as too much where now we're creating mud and cars are tracking this into their homes and things of that nature. So just keep in mind, we will try our best to mitigate to ensure that the dust is kept to a minimum. We won't be able to control windy days. We won't be able to control just excessive winds that can come up and get this dirt up. But the contractor does a great job. We try to keep all this down with watering, with sweeping, and try to do everything we can.
Yeah, and our guest is reiterating this is an air quality issue. Yeah, we understand. I apologize, you've typed PM10, and I'm not sure what you mean by that. So if you want to clarify that, that would be great. But yes, it is an air quality issue, and it's certainly something that all contractors, in my experience, come in prepared to try to mitigate with all of these different tools. It doesn't help their project either to have dust. PM is particulate matter of 10 microns or less, which can lodge in lungs permanently. Yes. So we do take that very seriously. I've seen the teams take that very seriously, repeatedly. And I would say that's something, if you've got concerns, to track down Justin, if there's work going on near you and you have concerns about that. Yeah, because we do take it very seriously. Okay, there must be more questions. Please feel free. See, Justin, they've got your contact information and they know this is all I need to know. While we're waiting for more questions, I do want to encourage people to sign up for ongoing email notifications about the project. You can see information about that at the bottom of your screen. There's a QR code that'll take you to the project website, which is also listed here, austintexas.gov/Westgate Pipe. And if you scroll down to communications, you can sign up for our email notifications list. And that's definitely a helpful thing to be registered for. So there's a lot of information distributed on the ground, through flyers, through door-to-door contact. And frankly, the crews are friendly. And a lot of times people just walk out in their yards and say, hey, what's going on? But you can also get information through the email notification list, which is a good second layer of information. And through that list, we provide updates about the project overall and things like that aren't necessarily flyered on the ground. Okay, I think we have another question. Okay, let's see. If you're tearing, so this is a follow-up, a continued follow-up about concerns about air quality and dust. If you're tearing out the existing signs in the right-of-way, how do we get street signs that are actually more indicative of what the street conditions are like? For example, we need a limited sight distance on Buffalo Pass, not a quote, slippery vehicle, end quote, sign. So again, if I understand your question correctly, you're asking if any existing signs in the right of way have to be torn down or displaced during the project. How could your community get street signs that better suit what the street conditions are like? For example, on Buffalo Pass, there's a slippery vehicle sign, and you think that a quote unquote limited sight distance sign would be more helpful to the community. And I'm getting a yes with 2 exclamation points, which means that I did manage to understand that question. And actually, I've never seen this question before. This is a really interesting and good question. I don't know, guys, do we actually ever tear down street signs when we're in the right of way? I'm not familiar with that.
Well,
Simon,
we do, but it's the contractor, and this part of the contract is only all they're allowed to do is put them back in the manner they found them after the construction. So we have to probably involve maybe call 311 to see if they can send somebody out to actually look at the situation and maybe take that into consideration, an additional sign to whatever is out there already. But unfortunately, our contract is for a specific type of work, and this would be outside of the scope for this contractor. But we can certainly look into it for her.
yeah, and we have a very informed, I'm so glad you're on this call because you obviously are very informed about city matters, and our guest is saying both of the signs are really old and need replacing anyway. Can there be some involvement of street and bridge? And so, yes, honestly, Simon, are you nodding? Would this be a street and bridge matter? Okay.
Yeah, and we will contact them and have somebody come out, and if she gets a hold of Justin, Justin can follow up and let her know, or let this person know, what where we stand on this in the near future. We'll go ahead and make those phone calls to get this information out to whoever is supposed to be taking care of this.
Well, and okay, so Simon, clearly you're prescient because she said, I'm asking for Austin Water to coordinate with Street and Bridge. So thank you for volunteering that. And she says, okay, I will contact Justin to get that coordinated. So Simon, thank you very much for volunteering to start that process. And Justin, see, the call hasn't even ended and you're already we're already in need of you. So that would be great. That would be great on all sides.
Also, I just want to add, no, the trash wasn't picked up yesterday as scheduled. As soon as I noticed it, I contacted Austin Resource Recovery, and it was already picked up today. I'll work with the Austin Resource Recovery drivers just to ensure them they could come through our work zone. We'll make some time for them to come pick up, or we'll bring the trash cans to them. If they're not picked up, just contact me, and I'll send a request to them to come pick it up right away.
Thank you. You know what? I'm so glad you said that because this actually is something that's come up. I've seen in multiple projects and people don't know what's going on and they don't know, what to do. So thank you for proactively volunteering that. Thank you very much. Also, Justin can make a pizza. He can do, no, I'm kidding. It has to stay limited to this stuff. Okay, I know someone else has a question and please either you can put it in the chat or you can put it in the Q&A, either one. You can use the raise your hand feature. Okay, if you guys don't have any other questions, then you can still ask, but I'm going to move on to this final slide so that you have contact information. And I don't know if you guys want to screen capture this screen or that sort of thing. Again, Justin, hopefully you've written his number down by now. But again, Patty Tilley, our project manager, and I'm Cynthia Miller with Austin Water, and you can reach out to any of us. And if we can't answer your question, we'll make sure to get you in touch with the person who can. Okay, good. We've got another question in the chat. Oh, how can we get a copy of the PowerPoint to share with others? If you would be comfortable sending me your email address, I would love to share it with you. This is being recorded and will be posted on our website, but I think it would be great if you could help us get this information out in the community. So you could either type great, you're going to send to my email address, perfect. So just put a little note what that's about, and we'll get you these slides. Thank you. And anyone else who would like the slides, please just send me a note by email, or you can type your contact information into the chat, and I'll make sure to get it to you. Okay, has everyone had a chance to take a picture of this contact information? If there are no other questions, going once, going twice. Anybody else in the panel have anything that they would like to add? I'm going to tell y'all a fun fact. This is called that actually a resident called and asked me, and it was a great question. This is called the Westgate Neighborhood Project, but a couple of other areas are involved as well. And fun fact, when these projects are first brought to life and first in design, they're named. And this one originally was only going to be in the Westgate neighborhood. This often happens where Austin Water or someone else may realize, hey, actually, this needs to happen in another part of town, but it would really make sense for various reasons to combine these projects or to add on a piece. But once these projects are created in the world of engineers and labeled, given a name, that can't be changed for a lot of very complicated reasons. Anyway, so that's why there are a couple of neighborhoods that are combined into this project, and yet it's still called the Westgate Neighborhood Project. So for any of you who are wondering, I actually received some phone calls about that. So I thought, well, there have got to be other people wondering. Okay, seeing no other questions, nobody else has anything to say, I will we'll go ahead and end the call. And thank you so much. You can follow up if you do have questions. And thank you again for joining us. And Lauren, we'll let you end the meeting.